We're joined on the show tonight by the Victorian Minister for Sport, Recreation and Veterans Affairs, Mr Hugh Delahuntly, who shared his views on the importance of local footy. How important are our local sporting clubs, like the Local Footy Club, in helping with character development?
Well, look, I'm on the Local Footy Show here, and I think local footy, it's a breeding ground for a lot of our top athletes, and particularly in football. And I think the opportunities created by local football is fantastic. You know, you keep fit, you meet a great lot of friends, and you test your skill against a lot of others. And particularly I look at interleague football gives you that opportunity. But whether it be the coaches, the administrators, and particularly I say the volunteers that play a very important role in our local footy. And look, I love getting home on the weekend. I go to the football matches and see everyone there barracking as hard as they used to. And it's a great breeding ground for our top athletes.
And what about the social aspect of the country towns, metropolitan suburbs, especially with netball as well, where people all get together?
I think that's been the greatest change I've seen in football in the last, say, 15 to 20 years, where we've seen an amalgamation of football and netball, I think to the benefit of the club, to the benefit of the leagues. It brings families together, and it's particularly not only playing that if you've got a happy footballer, or if you've got a happy wife, you've got a happy footballer usually, but more importantly, it brings families together. So on Saturdays they play football, netball, in some cases there's hockey involved, but importantly after the game they get together as families and friends, reminisce, talk about what they should have done, and you know, winners are grinners, as they say, but importantly I think they learn from it. But more importantly, it builds strong communities. And if I could say, you know, I'm on the Local Footy Show here today, that, you know, during the drought we had enormous support given by football clubs, netball clubs right across Victoria, and again highlighted by what happened in places like Charlton and Newbridge. Enormous damage to their football and netball facilities, sporting facilities in general, whether it be bowls clubs or the like. But sport's been a great way of helping each other. And when people are down in tough times, sporting clubs come to the fore.
Do you feel that there's any more work needed to be done to make sure that this continues in our country areas?
Well, I'm very keen as a Minister for Sport. I've got a key theme, and that is to have more people, more active, more often. So we need to have the facilities to be able to use, whether it be the ovals or the netball courts. We need to have change rooms at an appropriate standard. I think for too long we've overlooked the fact that women play a lot of sport. They're more than 50% of our population, and the days of netball girls getting changed out of the back of a station wagon are gone. And I think we need to make sure we've got the right facilities. We've got a program that we'll continue on called the Community Facility Funding Program, where councils can apply to my department for upgrade of sporting facilities, whether it be football, netball or any sports. But today I'm talking about football and netball predominantly. But again, we'll work with the communities, we'll work with the councils to ensure that we've got facilities to increase participation in sport.
When you went back to Matoa and coached, did you find that you had any extra responsibilities or pressures with that responsibility of being a coach back from the Big Smoke?
Well, there was a couple of, I was very fortunate to coach Matoa to its one and only premiership in 1980. That was a fantastic thrill, and there was a heap of Delahuntlys playing. My brother came back from Collingwood, he was playing there. But there was more responsibilities. You didn't have the resources we've got today. So you were not only the coach, you were the psychologist, you were also the recruiting manager. There was a lot of responsibility both on the ground and also off the ground. But importantly, you played a leadership role. But that created us problems because being an ex-VFL footballer, you were a bit of a target for some of the players. And I was one of the first ones to wear a helmet, to be honest with you, in country football. I was knocked out a couple of times. I played football very hard, but I copped a few too. But I have a lot of friends out of football and I have no regrets. But you're right, you did have a greater role than actually being just the football coach.
So what did you learn from your coaching experiences to being in Parliament?
Well, I think you learn from being involved with sport. I coached and played a lot of sports, but I think you learn you've got to be a psychologist. It's about working with people, and footballers are all different characters and having different requirements. And I think you know that by doing that helps you in the job I do now as Minister for Sport and Recreation. Because I meet with a lot of people, they are very passionate Victorians, we've got great facilities, we're very passionate supporters, and they wanted to see the best from their athletes. So I think the experience I had in playing sport, coaching sport, has helped me do the job I do today. And through the Local Footy Show I'm on today, you've got to support your administrators. You've got to get in there and help them. You've got to support your umpires. All right, they mightn't get it 100% right, but tell me what football has got it 100% right. Because we need the administrators, we need the coaches, we need the umpires, but importantly, we need passionate supporters supporting clubs. If you can't play the game, get out there and support your clubs, because sport's a great way of releasing the energy on a weekend, but do it in a responsible way, because sport's the lifeblood of our country communities. They bring communities together. It's the heart and soul of country Victoria. Get out there and join in.